Sanctuary. My sanctuary. It's not a physical place. It's not a place you can walk to. And it's not a place you can drive to. It's mental. It's spiritual. It's the only place where I can find peace from the pain. Well, my name's Bonnie Malchow. I'm a folk singer. I like folk music, and I've sang since I was in junior high, I guess. Got a guitar and just went to town with it, and it's just a joy in my life. Yeah, so I grew up in the 60s. Went to college in the 70s, so there was all the protest movements and all this kind of thing going on. Probably I met Doug, so that was probably 1979. So really I've known Doug like about 38 years. Played guitar, you know, we sang, and so I brought my guitar, he brought his guitar, and he thought my music was just over the moon, so he just fell in love with my voice and my singing. I mean, he was an artist, a musician. He did some of this artwork here. You know, Doug, he loved me unconditionally. He was by my side. He was always, we were together. And now, you know, he's still here. He's still here. If you believe in me, you will never die. Jesus said that. And I believe that's true. I saw that in his dying breath. I saw it. I saw him just, his eyes were wide open. He was just like, whoosh, going to the next place, you know. Breathtaking and amazing. You know, when that spirit went from this body whew, to the other realm, to God's realm, to heaven. And wow, what a radical experience that was for him. Doug calls and said, I have a lump under my arm. And I'm like, man. And he had a mole on his abdomen, I guess, upper abdomen, for years. And the doctor said, well, this is nothing. This is not characteristic of any cancer, so we're not going to worry about it. But you can get it taken off, you know, for cosmetic purposes. Well, they didn't do that right away. The doctor felt the lump, didn't think it was anything. He said, well, let's wait a month. It's probably just such and such. Harmless. So he waited a month, and I'm like, Doug, don't wait a month. But he waited a month, and it had grown from the size of an egg to the size of more like a baseball under his arm, a lump. So the doctor's like, oh, this isn't good. Let's take that mole off. So he took the mole off in May, got it analyzed. It was melanoma, which generally has a very, very bad prognosis. And when we asked the oncologist, what's the cure rate with these treatments, she said, oh, there's no cure for melanoma. No. This gave us at least 3 or 4 months of good quality time. But I found another lump, found a second lump under the other arm. So I'm like, oh man. So I came back home immediately the next day and never left his side after that. At some point he began to be in pain, more than he could bear. But eventually he sat right here in a chair, and he just, for 2 weeks he was in this chair, and I was sleeping right here on a little mat that I made, and that was our world. His friends said that it would just touch them so much that here he is in so much pain, but he is just got his hands raised and he's worshiping God, and he's just in the presence of God, you know, in that sanctuary presence, that comforting, transcendent presence of God, you know. in the midst of this pain. And of course, like I said, he never complained. He was just sweet. Always. And then the last, probably just only like 4 days before, or 3 days before he died, he couldn't even get up out of that chair. He just hugged me and he said, "I am so sorry you have to go through this." But I was alone here that evening, and just talking to him. He couldn't talk a whole lot by then, and I was talking and just reciting scriptures, and just by that time I thought, okay, it's okay to talk about dying and going to heaven now. I just decided. We had talked about how beautiful it's going to be, and what a wonderful thing it is, you know. And so finally I knew that his breathing was getting strange and labored. And I said, something's happening here. It's near the end. So they came over just to be supportive. And I just held his hand and talked to him, and I sang a song that we both loved about Psalm 84. It was the song. How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts. My soul longs and faints for your courts. My heart and my flesh sing for joy to the living God. And again, it's just about that sanctuary space with God, you know, in your heart, within yourself. And as I sang that, his eyes opened wide, and he was moving. He was moving on. I could just tell, you know, because I was singing that song, and he always loved to hear me sing. But that song just ushered him out into the next world. That's been our refuge, is this place with God where you're not looking to, or no, you're not depending on the circumstances of life or the people of life to fill you up. You have it right here. You have this space where God is present. God is present, and his shalom, peace, is just well-being, is just filling you up. In the Old Testament, in King David's day, the sanctuary was a place. But now it's not a place. It's a state. I know that I'll see him again, and he will be him, and I will be me, and you will be you, you know, and we'll see each other, and we'll be perfected, you know, we'll be made whole. We'll have perfect bodies, perfect minds, sharp, you know, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to see him again. It's all good. It's a win-win, you know, even though there's pain, which you don't think you'll always get over, but it's part of life, you know. It's part of a longing. Even the pain, the grief, is a part of a longing for that next life, for heaven. It's part of that longing for heaven, because we know it's not all going to be right here. Everything's not going to be perfect here, but it is there. Keep believing. There's no reason to not believe, you know. And when you look back, you can see, perfect healing happened, you know. He's completely healed, completely whole, and perfect, you know. And he has the perfect sound now, and he's in the band, you know. He's in the band, so.